How's it going, guys? My name is RickySenpai and welcome to a brand new video. Today's short video is going to be a trailer review of the new Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War, which is slated to come out in a few months. This trailer here particularly looks interesting to me because I have seen multiple small snippets. I haven't really got to see the whole trailer, but I've kind of just tried to pull myself away from actually seeing the trailer. But this is going to be a small trailer review, not a reaction like traditionally you'd see all over YouTube, but more like a trailer review commentary at the end of the trailer. So I'm just going to show you guys the trailer, and after that I'm going to give my thoughts and also pinpoint a lot of things that I found really interesting about this. But anyways, here's the trailer.
This war was a lie. Years of blood. Just to light the fuse of a secret war, decades in the making.
My fellow Americans, a nuclear conflict could well be mankind's last. We want to make this a more peaceful world.
5 days ago, we acquired intel. Soviet agent Perseus is in play. If he's active, something big is gonna happen. Something that could shift the balance of the Cold War.
Let's go find this shithead.
Mr. President, is the threat real? Yes, sir, we believe it is.
Give Mr. Adler whatever he wants.
This wasn't part of the plan!
I know you won't fail us.
So what did you guys think about the trailer? You know, personally, I actually enjoyed the trailer. Probably a lot of people are going to say, man, that's just the same old thing that Call of Duty pumps up. But me being a student of history and me loving the fact that you can tie history into video games, you know, I'm a big history buff in that regard. But the things that I want to talk about is the fact that this is pretty much a trailer that's kind of showing off what the Cold War was. And if any of you guys video game heads don't know what the Cold War is, the Cold War was a geopolitical war between the United States of America and USSR, which is modern day Russia, which they were called the Soviet Union back then because they had compiled a couple of countries under them to form, you know, communist USSR. So it's real interesting to see that they've kind of touched that, because I know back in Black Ops 1 or 2, if I'm not mistaken, there were small kind of things kind of almost feeling like it was going to jump towards the Cold War. But it's really good to see them kind of really good to see Treyarch kind of tie the Cold War into this Call of Duty, because I've always been a huge fan, I've always been a huge fan of war stories in kind of like war eras and stuff. So seeing the Cold War and seeing how they're able to tie that into this trailer was really interesting. One of the other things that stood out for me was the fact that they've had like had those helicopters flying in, and you've had like 70s 80s rock playing in the background, which kind of is more reminiscent of the war in Vietnam. And that's what I think it was. If I seen them correctly, I think I saw like a Viet Cong soldier, you know, with a big kind of looking like a sun hat charging like a US soldier. So it kind of seems like they're kind of touching into the Vietnam War, which I'm another huge fan of, you know. And if you guys do know anything about the Vietnam War, it was pretty much America coming out and flexing with all its might on Vietnam and stuff. And that war was so tainted politically, because a lot of people was against that war. And a lot of the things where it kind of seems like in the trailer you're kind of going like Black Ops behind the scenes, you know. You're kind of going being sent by one of the greatest presidents ever to you know, to grace the American politics, and that is Ronald Reagan. And if you don't know who Ronald Reagan is, he was a Republican president of America during this time period. And a lot of people didn't really like his policies, but personally, I kind of felt that a lot of the things that he, you know, enforced, like especially one of the big things that he did, that's known all around the world, is the fact that he pretty much ended the, you know, the pretty much what I'm saying is he pretty much ended the Russian influence in Germany, because in Germany they had the Berlin Wall, which was finally taken down because Ronald Reagan, you know, appealed to the Russians, you know, better take this shit down before we come marching in. So yeah, he's kind of credited with demolishing, pretty much demolishing the wall, and to tie Germany back together, because they were still divided by, you know, the Russians. So it was kind of cool to see that historical figure, Ronald Reagan, in the mix, to see him in the picture, because normally when you try to include political figures into a video game, you know, you can kind of see the fun fictitious things that they can do, you know, because it's kind of the way they've kind of made Ronald Reagan seem like that he, you know, these Call of Duty characters are real life characters that he kind of asks to go on and, you know, fight the secret war behind, you know, guerrilla warfare type thing. So it's real interesting. That was one of the key things that I really enjoyed, is the fact that they were able to take a historical figure, someone who wielded, you know, as you could say, you know, the biggest stick in the world at the time, which was the United States, and kind of tie it into a video game, which I'm so excited about. A lot of people will probably won't like the trailer because it's the normal theatrics that you see from normal traditional COD trailers, you know, usually around this time, you know, so they kind of get the people hyped because they show the campaign. But personally, I always felt the campaign for Call of Duty is kind of like a missed opportunity for them to actually get you to really enjoy the characters, right? But with this trailer here, I don't know if it's going to be any different, right? But I just feel that because now you've opted to talk about the Cold War, right? And now you've opted to bring Ronald Reagan into the picture, you know, that should make up for an awesome campaign. Because I remember a time where, I can't remember which Call of Duty it was, maybe it was 1 or maybe it was 2, where they had where they had President Kennedy, President Kennedy, you know, kind of shown throughout the game. I think that was Black Ops 1, yeah, in Black Ops 1. So it was pretty cool to see that history kind of tie in, and now they've kind of got Ronald Reagan, and they're kind of showing, you know, the geopolitical war between, you know, Russia and the Americans. And you kind of see throughout the trailer, you know, I think you play as an American, where you kind of just going on in a rampage and you're kind of just taking out, you know, Soviet spies, etc., you know, all these communists. So it's interesting to see the dynamics. So, you know, as for story wise, in my regard to the trailer, this could be strong, right? This really could be strong. You know, it can go the other way, but just looking from, you know, from an outsider's perspective, right? Because, you know, I played COD, you know, quite religiously back in the day, and even until now I don't really dabble in it much, but more so I play the story. It's interesting to see that the story, they can still find, you know, they can still find things to make stories about, you know, because you would have thought that a franchise that's been around for so long is they're gonna have no more stories to tell. But it's interesting to see they're still able to keep pumping out good stories. So yeah, so if I was to give this, you know, if I give this a rating out of 10, I'll probably give it a 6.5 or 7 out of 10, because, you know, we didn't really get to see much of anything else. It was more so just us seeing what the story was. So just based on the story, I give it like a 7 then, because like I said, whenever you can bring like a big political figure into the gaming world, right, and you can make stories around it, you know, and also bringing historical things that happen like the Cold War into a game, you know, I've always enjoyed that kind of aspect, because being a history buff, being a lover of history, and especially, you know, war stories, etc., this is going to be an interesting thing to see unfold. So yeah, anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this short trailer review, and if you guys want to see us talk about anything else, please leave us your comments in the description below. But yeah, that's all from me. My name is RickySenpai, and as always, see you later.